Hello and welcome to the course on Python programming language. In this video, we will be discussing types of data supported in Python. But before we go on discussing the types of data in Python, it is necessary to understand two terminologies, namely statically typed language and dynamically typed language. Statically typed language means compiler knows well in advance what type of value the variable can hold. So you can see here in an example, I have declared a variable a, I have specified that a is a variable of type integer, meaning a is going to take only integer values. Then float b. So here also you are specifying that b is going to take the float numeric values. So in statically typed language, the developer is specifying the data type when they are declaring the variable. C is an example of such type of programming language. Whereas in case of dynamically typed language, here I am declaring, I am initializing rather the variable a with some string value. Later on, this variable can also hold the numeric value. It can also hold the float value. So depending on the type of data I am assigning, the variable will be dynamically be reflected to hold this type of value. So here dynamically means whatever the value is assigned to the variable will become of that type. So in this case, the variable a is of type string, it's integer, and later on now it is a float. So here we are going to discuss what type of data the variable can hold in this video. So here is a figure. You can see what type of data are supported. It can be broadly classified here as Nun type, numeric type, sequences, sets and mappings. Let us start with the discussion with a Nun type. So Nun type, meaning it is very similar to null of Java programming language, and none means an object that does not contain any value. So at the time when we will be discussing the object oriented programming concepts along with Python in next subsequent videos, we will be going to use this Nun type. The second is a numeric type, and here first we will see the types are integer, float and complex. So integer means a whole number. Okay. For that, let us go to the command prompt, and from there I am moving to the Python prompt. Now I am declaring one variable, I am initializing one variable, and now I am checking what is the type of this num. So num is a variable which is holding the integer type of data. You can see here that class is a int. Later, now checking this, and once again what is the type of num. So it is reflecting that now it is a float. You can also use the scientific notation along with this, that is 22.55E3, let us say this one, and type of num. So it is a float. So float means when you want to have a numeric value along with a decimal point, so at that time the float will be helpful. And in case of a complex data type, the numbers are represented in form of a plus bj, where a is the real part, j is the square root value of -1, and b represents the imaginary part. So this is how it is written. A plus bj is a format. Let us try to store num is equal to 2.5 plus 3.2j, and now checking the type of num, so it is a complex. Not only that, you can perform addition operation with this complex number, just like we are doing with two integer or two float variables. So C1 is a type of complex, and C2 is also of type complex. Now I say C1 plus C2, so you can see the answer is there. So all real part are combined and imaginary part will be added here. So 2.5 plus minus 2.5, hence you can see it's 0 here. And next, in numeric type, we can also represent the number as a binary, octal or hexadecimal. Now in case of binary number should be written by prefixing the number with 0b, or you can prefix it with 0b. So this should be used as a prefix. Similarly, in case of an octal, the prefix which is used is 0o. Or 0 capital O. And in case of hexadecimal, the prefix is 0x or 0 capital X. So this is how the prefixes are used to denote whether the number is in binary, octal or hexadecimal. To understand that, let us take one example. So here in this case, I am taking n1 is equal to 0b1111, and then I am printing n1. So you can see it is giving me an equivalent decimal value here, but this number is represented as binary. So you can see that if I am not specifying the 0b here, then the number is 1111, and now I print. So when I want to say that these are the values which are stored, which should be treated as a binary, I have to prefix it with 0b. Likewise, you can check it for the octal 0o, 0o and 17, and then I am typing n1. Similarly, n1 equal to 0x, 15 and n1. So I am getting 21 here. Next we have is a bool representation. So in case of a bool data type in Python represents the Boolean value. There are only two Boolean values, one is a true and another one is a false. That can be represented by this data type. Python internally represents true as 1 and false as 0. So let us take one example. A is equal to true and type of A. So you can see that it is a bool, and similarly false. So type of A. Now we can go on checking the type of 10 less than 15. So at that time also you can see that 10 is less than 15, it is true, and the type of that answer true is a Boolean. So Boolean has true and false. Just observe that in case of true, T is capital, and in case of false, F is capital. Next in turn we are discussing is sequences. Now sequences represents a group of elements, and in case of sequences, sequences are nothing but they are the group of elements, or you can say items. For example, a group of integer numbers will form a sequence. So there are 6 sequences listed here. First is a str. So in case of an str represents the string data type. A string is represented by a group of characters. So here string is either enclosed in double quotes or it can be enclosed in a single quotes. But remember that if you are starting with double quotes, it should be ended with double quotes, and if you are likewise if you are starting with single quote, it should be ended with single quote. So here we will take one example. S is equal to hello and type of S is a str. Now I will show you that you can enclose it in single quote also. But if you try to do like this, you can see that you are getting an error, syntax error, unterminated string literal. If you want to type the statement like this is Python's book. So here you can see in the string itself I want to accommodate the apostrophe s. So how to do that? For that there are several ways you can do. One is you are typing s is equal to this is Python's book, and then s. So you can see that you are getting this is Python's book and type of s is str. So very simple. If you want to accommodate apostrophe s, you will enclose the entire string into the double quotes. Or there is other way that the triple double quotes or triple single quotes are useful to enable a string inside another string. So when you want to enable string inside another string, at that time triple double quotes or triple single quotes can be useful. So I'll show you the demo. S is equal to, so I'm making triple double quotes. This is Python's book, and I'm prefixing. So here also you can see Python's book. So Python's book is again if you want it into the quote. So this is a string double quotes, this is Python's book, and inside that I'm having another string. So when you want to do something like this, so that at that time this triple double quotes are useful. Now in case of Python, it provides you the slicing operation, that is along with indexing like other programming language, the Python also provides you the slicing. Now to understand that, I am taking one program here, S is equal to core Python programming, and I am saving this into D drive Python 2022 folder strdemo.py, and as it is a group of characters, we will say print s of 0. So s of 0 will give me the C. We can check this out. So I am coming out of this prompt, moving to the path Python strdemo.py. So you can see that it returns me the C. Likewise, if I go on passing any of the index, it will give me the character available at that particular index. So this is basically an indexing operation. Likewise, Python also provides you the slicing operation. Slicing means if I want to extract this Python word, so you can see that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The Python words P starts from the index 5, then 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, and then there is a 11. So if I want a Python to be extracted, I will say from 5th character, that is from 5th index, I want 11th. Now this is an including and this is an excluding. What does it mean is, if you want n to appear, n in an output 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you want n to appear, you will write plus 1. Okay. So 11 is an excluding. So I will show you that 5 to 11 will give you the Python. But if you are writing 10, so 10 index will not be included. It is excluded. So you will not get n in a result. So this operation is known as a slicing operation. There is one more thing. If I am not writing any ending index, so you can say this is a starting index and here you will provide the ending index. So if I am not writing ending index, and then in that case the ending index is considered till the end of the string. So likewise, when I am not providing the starting index but I am providing some ending index, so in that case by default the starting index will be considered as the 0. So we'll see. So you can see it is automatically taking the starting index from 0. Not only that, I will also show you that so this is a starting index colon ending index. You can also write here the step value. So by default the step value is 1. So automatically 0, 1, 2, 3. But what if I type a step value as a 2? You can observe that. In that case, what it is doing is, see, after that it is incremented, the index is incremented by 2. So next it is pointing to R, and then automatically space is there, and then Y. So this, the third part here you can see is for the step value. And another thing you have to observe here, when I am doing print S of -1. So here, along with the positive indexing, it also supports the negative indexing. So a negative index means the character G. So -1 indicates character G, then comes N, that is -2, I -3, and M -4, and so on. So when I am saying S equal to -1, as you can see, I am getting G here. Next, we are discussing the bytes data type. Bytes data type represents the group of byte number, just like an array does. So byte number is any positive integer numbers from 0 to 255. It cannot hold negative values. And let us take one example. So for that I am just shifting to Python prompt. Now when I am saying a equal to 10, if you check type of a, it is an int. But bytes, using bytes function, I can convert the type of a to bytes. But if I now say a equal to 255 and type of a, so it's an integer basically. Now I'm converting, so it is there. And now let us check a is equal to -10 type of a. So you can see I've just stored a negative value, but now I'm trying to convert it into the bytes. So here you are getting an error, value error, negative count. It means the bytes are not able to hold any negative values here. One more thing you have to observe for bytes data type here is, if I am creating here the list of values enclosed in a square bracket, and I am converting this list into the bytes type, here you can see. So B of 0 gives me 10, B of 1 gives me the second. But what if I try to modify this value to 100? So you can say bytes object does not support item assignment, meaning bytes type array cannot be modified. Next in a sequence we are seeing is a byte array. So byte array, again this is similar to bytes, but there is a difference. Yes, the difference is bytes array cannot be modified. Just now we have seen, right? Just now, as per last point. But byte type array can be modified. So how to do that? Let's take an example. So I'll come back to Python prompt, and here a is equal to 10, 20, 30. Now to convert this list of elements into the byte array, I will say byte array. And now if you see the type of B, it is a byte array. And B of 0 is giving me 10, B of 1 is giving me 20, and now I'm trying to reassign the value. So it allows me basically. And if I see B, it gives me that it is a byte array, but if I try to print B of 0, it is already updated to 100. So byte array data type supports the item assignment. You can update the value over there. Next in a sequence we have a list. So in case of a list is very similar to arrays, but in case of an array you are able to hold only a single type of value, whereas list represents a group of elements which can be of any data type. A mixture of data type is allowed here. and the list elements are enclosed in this kind of brackets, that is a square brackets. And let us create one list here. So student is equal to, there is a name here, before that let us say this is a roll number, then we have a name, then we have an email address, then we have the mobile number. So you can see I have a mixture of data type and they are enclosed in a square bracket. So this denotes that it is a list. Now this list element can be accessed using the indexing, just like you are doing in array, and you can also use a slicing operation here. So 0 colon 2. So remember that 0 is a including, whereas 2 is excluding. So here 0 and 1, I'll get 1 and ABC here. So indexing and slicing both can be done in list. Next we have a tuple, but before we go for a tuple, let us check one more thing about a list. Can we modify student of 0, roll number to 11? Yes. So student, it suppose the item assignment, so list elements can be modified. List elements can be modified here. Yes, now so we are discussing about tuple. Tuple also holds the group of elements, and it also supports that it can be of mixed type, can be of any data type, but they are enclosed in round brackets and they do not support item assignment, meaning tuple elements cannot be modified. Let us see by one demonstration here. And tuple T is equal to 1 ABC, email address I am just writing, and some dummy data are there, and fine. So T is there and type of T, so you can say it is a tuple, but now I am trying to assign some value to the first element. So you are getting an error, type error, tuple object does not support item assignment. So that is a major difference between the list and tuple, that list allows you to modify the value, whereas you cannot modify the tuple's value. Next in a sequence we have a range. So in case of a range, range data type represents the sequence of numbers. The number in the range are not modifiable, numbers are not modifiable, and it is used to represent generally in a for loop or to print a sequence. So let us understand it by one example. Range of 10. So range is the function which is used. So you can say it is showing me range 0 to 10. But if I want to print this range, so there are various ways you can do. One among that is for loop you can use. So see, so far we have not discussed any looping structure in Python, but just for the demo I am taking here for I in R. So it will take one value out of this range R, and it will store the value into the I, and that same value we want to print it, print I. So you can see I am getting 0 to 9. So 0 is including and 10 is excluding, so I am getting 0 to 9. The other way is you convert a print list to this R. The range is converted into the as a list and then it is printed. So this is how the range can be used, and this is widely useful in printing the sequence and printing the pyramid patterns. Next is a set, and in sets we have set and frozen set further. So set is unordered where the order is not maintained, meaning the way you are entering the value, the output every time you run may be different. So they are basically an unordered collection of elements, much like set in mathematics. So in the order of element is not maintained in the sets, and so here we have two subtypes. One is the sets and other one is a frozen set. So let us talk about this set here. To create a set, curly brackets are useful. We'll understand it by demonstration here. I have S 1, 2, 3 type of S, so you can see it is a set. And what if I have a multiple values here? So when I'm printing S, you can see the set do not contain duplicate values, and you can also store S is equal to hello. So I'm trying to store hello here. So you can see the L is 2 times appearing here, but when I'm storing it as in set, and while printing the set, I'm getting HLOE. Okay. Let us see, can we have a multiple type here? So yes, it is supported. So set also supports you to use the multiple type of values. Since sets are unordered, we cannot retrieve the elements using indexing and slicing. Can't use here indexing and slicing. So if I am trying to do here S of 0, it says set object is not subscriptable, and so is the case with slicing. Now if you want to add values later on into the set, so right now you can see it contains 3 elements. If I want to add some values to that, so this is how I can do s dot update. So these 2 values are added. Likewise, if I want to remove something, then I'll specify. So now A is no longer there. So update and remove can be used with set. Next we have a frozen set. So in case of a frozen set is similar to set, but of course some changes are there. The main difference is that the elements in set data type can be modified, whereas as the name is, frozen set cannot be modified. Again, let us understand by one example. S is equal to 10, 20, 30. So if I check type of S, currently it is set. I have to convert it to the frozen set, so I'm taking my variable fs, and frozen set is a function which is used to convert that. Now if I say the type of fs, you can say it is a frozen set. So other things are very similar to set, means I cannot use the indexing, I cannot use the slicing. So in that way it is similar to set. But recall that we have used the update and remove function to add some value and to remove the value. Such operations we cannot perform with the frozen set. Let us try this f dot update and I want to add the values. So you can see attribute error, frozen set object has no attribute update. So such functions are not supported along with a frozen set. You can also create the frozen set like this, frozen set, and then I pass here fs, so you can see. So this is another way you can create the frozen set. Next, in a type of data we have a mappings. So in case of mappings, as the name is, something is mapped with something. That is, we have two entities here. A map represents group of elements in form of key and value pair. Okay. So, and dictionary is created using the curly bracket, but then there are key comma value, then key comma value. This is how it is done. We will take one demo. And dictionary D, roll number 1, whose name is ABC. So, you can see that 1 is a key, colon ABC is a value. Then we will put 2, DEF and D and type of D. So, now you can see it is a dict, that is a dictionary. If you want to add some more values to this dictionary, you can use it like this. So, D in square bracket, you will write a key is equal to a value that you want to assign. So, I am providing some dummy name here. So, you can see the dictionary has now the key 3. Can I override the value? Let us try to do that. Okay. So, you can see that 3 is overwritten now. So, if the key already exists, it will override the value, but if the key does not exist, it will try to do the insert operation. So, in this case 4 is not there, so it has done the insertion operation, but if the key was already there, it has just updated the value from GHI to test. So, this is all about the types of data supported in Python. Thank you for joining.